you mentioned, in wanting to write this book that you'd gone through similar times in your life with those thoughts and stuff, and you want to hopefully help somebody. I was curious, do you journal at all? Do you like daily journal?
No.
You should pick it up.
I did. Well, I wouldn't. So my girlfriend got me like a notebook. And I would try to write, like I would go to work, and then like if I started work at 6, I was like sitting in my truck at 5:30. And I would take that time to finish my coffee or my energy drink, and then I would write my notebook like, hey, we got today, just like positive things like, hey, today's gonna go good. Yeah. We're gonna conquer this. We're gonna like, this is a goal I have for the day, or like whatever it is, like just to start off already on a good mental note, because sometimes you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and it's like, well, you don't want to start any day like that. I don't care if I'm hunting. Like, I don't want to start on a bad note hunting either.
Did it help at all when you were doing that? Or?
It definitely made you more conscious. I mean, things happen throughout the day. I mean, life will be life, So like, you can't stop everything, and not everything's in your control. But it's, trying to control what you can control, and try to control how you let it affect you. Like, some things you can't not stop from happening. Like, all right, how are you going to respond to it?
Yeah, you do get to control that.
That's not just work. That's life in general. Like, how are you going to let this thing? Someone cuts you off in traffic. Are you going to like get pissed? Or are you going to be like, deep breathe. Just
I might
don't get angry. Don't get angry.
I might break some shit if I'm alone.
Crank up Metallica and just go. Like,
yeah. No,
I think it's just a general life, rule in life is just, how are you going to let things, affect you, and like, how are you going to respond to them?
No, I think that's big. I mean, that's what there was a quote that one of my health teachers had in his room, that was like, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond, or like 20 or 80. I forget the exact split, but it was something like that, which is true. It's really true, because, something that you couldn't control happened, and then a lot of us self-destruct, and I've done it. We've all done it.
It's like when you take a bad shot in basketball, and you missed your 3 that you had wide open.
Yeah.
You made a guy break his ankles, and you're just there, like, doing the whole James Harden look, and then take the shot, and you miss. It's like, are you going to let that...
Is that going to affect the next 3 shots, or is that going to be just what that was?
You can apply that to anything in life.
Well, and that's what's crazy, dude. So
I missed the shot on this deer. Yeah. Am I going to let that mentally... And it has mentally got me on the next shot. But it's you play anything in life,
Well, that's what. So the reason I was asking if you journal at all too is because I've been talking a whole lot on the podcast about how I picked up journaling and reading, and I just finished the 7 Spiritual Laws for Success, and it's one of the things in the book was it really put it in a much better way than I'm about to put it, but it is what it is, is basically, but actually truly believing that in the moment, and a practice anybody who's listening can do, and you can try this in your regular life, whether you're at work or whatever. Something happens to you that specifically annoys you. Just try it for that. We'll narrow focus. Not something you're supposed to do it with everything, good and bad, but something that just do it for just like a day. Everything that annoys you. Somebody cuts you off in traffic. Maybe Ty fucking dumps your coffee out because he thought no one was drinking it or whatever.
No, when it comes to him, it's him eating his food like a freaking baboon, just
okay. So your brother's chewing out loud while you're trying to watch the detox podcast. You gotta crank the volume because Ty's over there fucking chewing it like that, right? Every time something like that, where like you would go, the first reaction might be, especially something with me, bro. I got a temper. I try to like hold it down.
Here.
So first reaction might be to just be annoyed right away and be like, what the fuck is that? Why are you chewing like that, right? But to literally tell yourself in your head, it is what it is. Like, that's just what he does. He does that. Now, it's not great, because you don't want to excuse people's terrible behavior. If somebody's chewing with his mouth open right next to me, like, hopefully we can have a conversation one day and he can address that issue. But I tried this, and I did this at work for a few days, and it actually, like, it was wild, like, how many times I caught myself, like, how quick I am to get annoyed and to allow things to piss me off, where it's like, in stuff that I'm passionate about and I care about, like basketball, like it's really hard to annoy me, like while we're playing basketball. Like like you could talk shit to me, you can try to foul me, I just laugh at you. Like I know where I'm at. But when it comes to like myself, and as I've the last couple of years been having my own like inner struggles and stuff like that, I found that I was getting really bad at being able to letting a lot of things affect me, and not being able to just be like, it is what it is, dude. That person is that person. I can't change what they think that about me. That's okay. Like, I can't do anything about that. And that's something that I talked about last week too, is like, I definitely have cared too much about what other people think about me. And I think not just in that, but literally with everything, if you just for a day think every time you're about to get annoyed or mad at something, just be like, that thing just happened. That is what it like. It is what it is, because it just happened. I can let that moment just be that moment, or I can let that linger and piss me off for the next 45 minutes.
Right.
And why would you do that? And that's the thing why I was mentioning journaling, especially for someone like yourself too, with wanting to do a book and stuff. I think it would be cool because you can get a simple one, like the one I have, dude, is like it has at the beginning of the day, first thing I do, it's a like morning and night one. So the first thing you do when you wake up, it
kind of breaks it down in sections for you to.
It's all like compartmentalized. So it's like you wake up, you do a real quick. The morning one's like literally 2 minutes, not even, which is nice because I'm always in a rush in the morning to get to where I gotta go, get to work and stuff like that. So get up, you put the date, it's like a couple of to-dos that can wait. So you got what shit that you gotta do today, shit that you'd like to get to today, but it can wait. You got a couple things that you're excited about for today, a couple things you're stressed out about for today, and just putting it down. Like when you write those couple things down that you're stressed out about, it forces you to be conscious of those things, and you start after a couple of days of getting in the routine of doing it. You're like, you're like, why am I stressed out about this?
Right.
Like maybe it's like you gotta call somebody that like you might have like a pretty regular relationship, like you see them a lot. And you're like, you write it down, like, I'm stressed to call so-and-so. And after you do that, you're like, why am I stressed to call that person? Maybe their relationship isn't so positive.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't need to be around that person all the time. Or, maybe it's something else in your life. And you start asking questions where, like, kind of how you were mentioning earlier about, like, taking control and not worrying about those negative thoughts as much anymore. You start to, like, really get this consciousness of, like, the things that you do and think. Because that's like your thoughts are just thoughts. It's not like you, and that's so hard and it was so hard for me to distinguish that the things that I think of here are not 100%. Those are my thoughts. I am the whole being that you're saying. I am the physical part of me. I am those thoughts. I'm my spirit. I'm all this shit. And so it was crazy to like start taking that approach to it as I started writing these things down. A big goal of mine this year is to start saying no, because I feel I'm a people pleaser. I agree to way too many things. And then I'm always stressed out, and then people close to me or myself end up getting hurt because I don't have time for myself or for those people.
Learning where to stand your ground on certain things.
Yeah. And I've been that's something again with journaling. I would realize like, oh, I'm stressed to do this thing for this person today. And after writing that down a couple of times for a couple of days, I'm like, why don't I just fucking tell them no? I can't do it. Like I just honestly can't. And
don't overload yourself. Then you're even more stressed out. Now you have things to actually be stressed about.
Exactly. Well, and so then I started doing that, and honestly, that's like one weight lifted off like my shoulders and off my chest. And so like I think definitely if you get, I'll try and show you the journal I have because it's an easy one. I needed something easy so that I could like get into it.
Beginner level.
Yeah, because I'm not. This is the first time I've ever journaled that, but I've done it for over 2 months now, strong. Cool. So
it's one of those like just helpful. Being conscious of what you're doing too, because like sometimes like I know for me, and there's a lot of people that can be like, oh yeah, he's angry,
Yeah.
So some things I just like naturally. That's just I just get angry, It's like sometimes, but and then it's over in 5 minutes, like. After the fact, it's like.
But now you got to deal with, and now you got to deal with the repercussions. Yeah,
it's like I don't think about those things in the moment, so I'm working really hard. Like my New Year's resolution was 1, to work on getting my anger to a sustainable place, getting a diet at a sustainable place, getting a workout in a sustainable place, and then one thing I was talking to my pastor today about this. So like when bad things happen to you, instead of saying like why God and blaming God, more like okay, what do you get? Because he's obviously doing something for you. So like when he does something, when he closes the door for you, he's gonna open up the door for you again. So like when bad things happen, it's like instead of saying like why and blaming God, it's like all right, what do you got around the corner? Because you're doing.
Why do you want me to go this way instead of that?
You're doing something for me. Like you're making me do this, and it's not fun right now. But obviously you're gonna do something later on that's gonna be like, that's why I went through this, is because now I'm here, and thanks to him, I'm here, and he put me through this to appreciate this moment too.
You might never have gotten that opportunity had you gone through that other door.
And then one thing he told me to start doing too this year, and it's also gonna be, is like when things go wrong, thank him. Like imagine that, like when things go wrong in your life, like you run out of gas, you have no money, you have like no one's watching your podcast.
Crazy that you say that, dude. I literally
start thank you.
And well, the thing is, and I think it starts off like you feel like a little bit of a psycho at first, because that's what. So I'm not like a super religious person, but for me, something very similar, like literally the exact same thing. I have found myself as like stupid shit that I would get pissed off about. Like when I'm getting set up, I'm moving lights around. I'm like, fuck, I left left my other light in the other room, and I'm walking back and forth 100 steps, and I'm getting pissed off that I walk in here, forget something over there.
At least you're getting steps in, though.
That's true. But I just, like, something will happen that I'm like, I know I'll be mad about, and I literally just start laughing. I'm just like, dude, you gotta be, all right, man, that's what we're doing. And I just, like, give a little, like, I almost force myself to, like, do this little giggle or whatever, and it's like, right there, it's kind of just like flipping and it's on its head. And yeah, it's corny, and yeah, it's like you're forcing it, but after you do, once you get the ball rolling, it's like anything in life, dude.
It becomes
like,
a habit.
Well, just, yeah, because friction, it's static friction is before it moves, correct? I'm trying to, someone in my honors physics class will correct me. There's kinetic friction.
I'm not that smart, so I can't
static friction is always going to be higher than kinetic friction. So static, and I might have those backwards, but static.
It makes sense. Static
to my understanding, static is when it's not moving. Whenever something is not moving, the literal friction value is going to be higher than once it's already moving. Yeah. It literally causes, like, you need less force to keep it moving. Yeah. Push a rock. It's the same thing.
It makes sense the way you're saying it.
And it's the same. Well, so hopefully I'm right. And it's the same thing with anything in life. And that's why with journaling, like, I wanted to journal. I wanted to read. So there are all these ways, like, you just have to get started. And people will say that, and they won't give you any tangible advice. But I will give you a tiny piece. Whatever it is you want to do, pick the dumbest down version, the smallest increment that you can do of that thing. And just say, I'm going to do that every day. I do that every day. It's the same thing for any process, though. Like, it's like literally just find the smallest, most easy thing that you can, like, the easiest thing you can do of that thing. You want to be a podcaster. Okay, maybe you don't have a phone. Maybe you don't. I'm gonna say you have nothing. Yeah. You should start talking to the wall. Do something, bro. Do something that, like, practices getting to that point. Or maybe even if the first step for you is getting a job and saving $10 every week until you have enough money to get your one microphone and do an audio. You know, if it's a podcast that you want to do, if it's music, you know, there's a different process. But for anything, fitness, just make sure you work out every day. Start by,
what do they say, just a minimum of 40 minutes a day of, like, good intense stuff.
Dude, the thing is, dude, if there's, like, there are so many, if you just need to build the habit, like, if you literally do not have, like, you don't think you have it in yourself to be consistent with working out.
21 days, 3 weeks to make anything a habit, good or bad.
Well, and the thing, well, honestly, dude, and so I read the Atomic Habits book on habits and all this different, like, science into how you can make anything into a habit. Bro, just make it so fucking simple, so stupid that there's no way you can't do it, and change your environment where you can't go about your day without being reminded that you're not doing it. And if it's working out, dude, 10 minutes, I literally am right now, I have not missed a workout in couple months, and some days I only have 10-15 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing abs then. I'm doing abs for 15 minutes straight, 10 minutes straight, whatever it is. I'm not missing a day. And being diligent in that, you're gonna have the days then where you get that full great, you know, workout in. But to get there, if you're really, really struggling, because that's what, dude, I was in, like, a really dark place, and I'm not saying I'm out of it in any way, shape, or form, but I have made some considerable strides, and it's literally from, like, the habits that I've built recently.
Even the strides feel good, don't they?
They do. Well, and they're just general, dude. So in the journal thing that I do, there's literally, like, you put, like, your energy level, and when I started it, dude, every day it was like I was, like, below a 5. I'm, like, circling, like, 4, 3, 5 max, and I haven't, like, it's on a scale
then
1
to
10.
That 6. And
well, now I'm like, it's like an 8, 9, 10 every day. I feel great, and I'm not even in the shape I want to be in yet. I'm not doing the things I want to do musically or anything.
Mental space you're in.
Yeah, it's just literally like, okay, I know I'm casting votes for the me I want to be. Yeah. Even if I'm not that person yet. Yeah, and that's from the book, straight from that book, and it's literally what it is though. It's like if you tell me you want to fish, you want to be a great fisherman, right? Maybe you can't get out and fish right now, but there is something you can do right this moment to prove to yourself and cast a vote to prove that you want that future you to be a better fisherman.
It's kind of like the Matthew McConaughey speech. I'm chasing me in 5 years. Yeah, you know, but it's exactly. But that works for him, and it's super cool to think about it that way.
Thanks for watching that last video, guys. Click right over here to see the episode in its entirety, or click over here to subscribe and check out all the other cool shit we have on the channel. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Do it.